The My Brother song was two songs. It was a whole process where when I was there with my brother in the hospital, his last moment, wanting to give him a word, he had a word for me. And he was looking at Jesus while I was looking at him, and there was no fear. It was all faith, trust, love in God, what Jesus had done, nothing he had done. And his words, be ready at all times. He said he was ready then. He's like, but be ready at all times. There was so much when he said that, I can't even put it into words, but it's one of those moments that has only grown since that moment.
Right.
And to try to express it, I was having a moment, I was crying and struggling, like later on after that at some point. And I started recording while I was crying. And I was singing that experience of what happened during that moment. And what happened was I continued to sing, and then it went in from that song, connected into a whole nother song of now what I'm supposed to do. So it was the experience, and now send a message out there to others of be ready at all times, for me and for others.
Right. So the word you received from him. Right. I need to take this and echo that.
Exactly.
For other people.
And I didn't know it was going to be two songs, but when I was done and this took several weeks, I was like, gosh, this is two songs, but I was like, how do I do this? I'm like, so I split it in half. And My Brother is all about my singing what it was like at that moment, him filling up with the Holy Spirit. He had the Holy Spirit, faith all in God, but he was filling up, overflowing with it. And then it was very healing, this song, because I had to listen to it myself crying to get it down through the recording and make sense of it, what I was trying to sing and say.
Wow. I haven't heard that part before.
Yeah, very healing.
That's so good.
Yeah. Wow. And again, like in practicing this song when it was done, I was like, how am I going to sing this song to people? Again, back to his thoughts are higher, his ways are higher. Yeah. God is so above the pain that I can do it, and it's worth doing it. I believe it's continuing to heal me, and it'll continue to heal others.
I've always thought personally that, you see people that are concerned about getting emotional when they're, giving a sermon, or maybe they're sharing a eulogy, or, just these different moments. I've even heard women and the way they do their makeup. They're like, oh, don't make me cry today. And it's like, well, if the Holy Spirit's doing something and you need to cry, plan on not wearing makeup, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Because for me, I think there's something so powerful with allowing people to see the vulnerability of the moment, Right. And I know that in a performance situation, you could get to the point where you get so overwhelmed that you can't continue the song.
Right.
And you're like, I don't want that to happen.
Right.
But I think that the positives of people seeing the emotion far outweigh the negatives of just getting it together, and you know what I mean?
Right.
So encouragement for you, and permission of letting that be seen, which I know you are that type of guy anyway.
Right.
But I don't think I would rather see someone stumble through a verse, getting choked up, because you're allowing me to see you, and I'm feeling this song in a whole nother way.
Right.
And the song can minister anyway, but like now I'm seeing that it's so real to you, and I think it just ministers in a an even deeper way.
Right.
So.